What's up YouTube? Today's video was inspired by running into a lot of Silver Surfer decks and other types of combo decks, getting whooped quite heavily and then thinking about how to counter them properly. And I saw this cute little idea on Specimen's Twitter, playing Leech in a Lockjaw Discard deck just to maximize the odds of either playing Leech from hand or pulling it from deck. Chavez also helps with consistency and higher likelihood of drawing Leech, and it really helps disrupt a lot of the combo decks that are currently running around. At the same time, this does not get countered by a lot of stuff. Dracula cannot get hit by Shang-Chi because he gets his power at the very end of the game. It also cannot get silenced by Enchantress in Zabu decks. It doesn't really matter if it gets copied by Leader most of the times. And this deck also doesn't care too much about all the Killmongers and Polarises going around in Silver Surfer decks. So this seems to be a pretty good meta call right now. And first of all, I gotta give props to my man Specimen. He's an amazing content creator and I would definitely recommend you to check out his YouTube and Twitch channels. And second of all, let me give you some tips and tricks on how to pilot this archetype properly. So the core build-around card in this deck is Apocalypse. This is a card we can discard infinite times over and over and it keeps on growing in strength, which also makes our Morbius considerably larger, and most of the time we would like to finish off with Dracula discarding Apocalypse as the last remaining card in our hand and gaining its power. We're able to discard as often as possible. We play a bunch of discard cards. Blade and Colleen Wing and Lady Sif are all pretty core. I personally like to run Swordmaster, but this could also be a Gambit or a Moon Knight, for example, to disrupt our opponents. Hell Cow, if you have her, is great, just being able to hit 2 targets at once and reduce our hand size. But if you're missing Hell Cow or Colleen Wing, just feel free to replace them with either Moon Knight or Gambit ideally. Swarm serves as a great alternative discard target if we don't find Apocalypse early on, and another reason Swarm is great in this after we discard it is a super cheap way to enable Lockjaw over and over and make it pull cards from our deck. This also allows us to reuse some discard cards, so we can play Blade or Colleen Wing into Lockjaw, already enabling the on-reveal effect, and they might get pulled out of our deck again later on, triggering a second time, discarding even more stuff. So for some strategic tips with this deck, we don't have to get greedy playing Blade right away and then following up with a Swordmaster or whatever if we risk discarding our key cards like Dracula and Morbius. So ideally we'll want to start off a little slow, play Morbius into one of the locations, keep another one completely free for Lockjaw so we can follow up with 3 more cards into that location, making full use of the deck pulling power. And Dracula is usually gonna single-handedly win us another 3rd location if we find Apocalypse early enough and discard it often enough. So we can often do something along the lines of skip turn 1, turn 2 we either play Morbius or Colleen Wing discarding Swarm. Turn 3 we play either of our 3 drops. Turn 4 Dracula, and turn 5 is where we pop off. Ideally we have Lockjaw online already, we can play Leech into the Lockjaw location, or we play a bunch of these discard cards that pull us Leech, or we play a Swarm that we discarded earlier on to pull us Leech. That would be even better. And then on turn 6 we will draw America Chavez, but we don't have to play her. Ideally we just continue with all of the discarders we have, and we also need to make sure that we get all of the Swarms out of our hand, so that Dracula doesn't accidentally discard a Swarm at the end of the game. So we don't have to play Chavez on 6, but we sometimes can if we just don't have any discarders left, or if the power play just makes natural sense. So what I said earlier on, of course, is best case scenario. We do need to be somewhat flexible, and there are definitely some situations where our hand just doesn't allow us to be this greedy, and we need to take risks with discarding early on, like playing a Blade on turn 1, 2, 3, or the Swordmaster on turn 3, risking potentially discarding a Dracula, but otherwise we just would fall too far behind in the game and we wouldn't be winning anyway. There are 2 things that really separate the great players from the average players with this deck. One is planning ahead, mapping out the next couple of turns and making sure that you're managing your hand space correctly so that there's only Apocalypse left at the end of the game. And the other one, which is even more important, is snapping and retreating correctly. And that means you need to get good at estimating the probabilities of your discards hitting certain cards, of Dracula hitting a certain card at the end of the game, and having a feeling for how far ahead or behind you are in the game. And an important part of that is knowing which deck you're playing against and knowing how impactful Leech really is. If it completely breaks apart a deck like a Silver Surfer deck, or if you're maybe just helping your opponent get an Infinite out for free. So stay focused when playing this deck and keep in mind that it is pretty volatile. There is a lot of randomness involved, and especially if you're new to this archetype and not that experienced yet, it's maybe not the best choice for climbing. I've seen plenty of people climb to Infinite with this deck and also have success in the Infinite rank, so it's definitely possible if this deck suits you. And I personally also had quite a bit of success with this deck, and I want to share some highlights of my run with you. No donation. Only after infinite. Okay, this is a hand. This is something we can work with. Very greedy Lockjaw deck? Sure, send it over. Okay. Do we believe in the draws? Yeah, sure. Like, our hand's good. Apocalypse is what we're most looking for, but even just Morbius might make us win. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that was worst case scenario. Isn't it just... Wondering if it's just end turn. Could also be Swordmaster Blade. There's good chances that we don't hit Hell Cow. Man, I really needed that Leech. Though it might have silenced our opponent's Destroyer in that regard. It's a-okay, one card in hand. Guess we're looking for Chavez and Morbius right here.
I am Iron Man.
Spectrum? Spectrum is not that good. They can't play Destroyer. Mystique plus something is also scary. Okay, sometimes you just got to wish for it, I suppose. Only get to like 12 on the right side. Or 15, I suppose. Spectrum middle would be plus 9. They go to 16. We tie at 16. Sure. Win the tiebreaker. Should win the tiebreaker. Also, if it's Spectrum plus a 2-drop, we're doomed. But it can only be Lizard, realistically. I call middle, abandon right. Might be better. We want the discard effect because it also gives Morbius an extra +2. That's probably a better play.
Victory.
I probably even should have kept this Swarm in hand. Just to get 3 discards. Ah, GG's though. Would have beat Spectrum. It would not have beat like a 2-drop into Spectrum. Okay, wait, this... I was just gonna say this is a good hand, and then I realized we're playing on Attilan. We will have the chance to get rid of our swarms. There goes our good hand. I guess we're committed. Nabzir, thank you for the prime. Much appreciated. I hope this gives me good luck right here. I'm a bit scared. This could really backfire. It's fine. Get wrecked. Get owned, rookie. For introducing me to this crack cocaine. Like, this is a very fun deck. Or do you mean Marvel Snap in general? I mean, both applies, I guess.
Victory.
Okay. Interesting hand state. YOLO. We discard Dracula, we can just get out of here. Isn't Arrow largely considered one of the best cards in the game still? Yes. Standalone, yes, but this deck is, this game rather, is so combo oriented.
Can you make me better at this game? Smile.
Woo, Team Bizarro, thank you for the 16 months. I mean, I do offer coaching. Like, if you're serious about getting better, that is definitely the easiest and best way to do it. Apart from that, I mean, if you're watching streamers and YouTube videos and so on, you're already in a good way there. And as long as you, like, get enough games in yourself, as long as you try to improve and try to do different stuff and so on. I'm not gonna get any cards here, am I? Can you make me not Cosmo my own stuff? Yeah, I can do that. You can find all the info on my MetaFi profile. It's usually a, like, we start off with a Discord call. Wait, give me a second here. Do I go triple Swarm? And just not play anything else? Like, we're only playing for 2 locations, so I want a Dracula next turn, and definitely looks like the best. We'll just fold to Shang-Chi, so I definitely don't want to snap here. Churi or Bast be a better buy for hero drops? They're equally good, it just depends on what you like to play. Okay, if they play Zabu, they probably have Shang-Chi. If they snap, we run. Okay, wait. If they play Zabu, they probably also can't reach Death's Domain. Which means that if we can go incredibly tall in middle, we might actually beat them, even if they have Shang-Chi. But yeah, the coaching is usually, we talk about like background and your current state first. Then we set goals. Like whether it's climbing, whether it's improving, whether it's working on certain topics, whether it's preparing for tournaments, whatever. And then we either do theoretical or practical sessions. And most of the time it's practical. Which just means like through a Discord call and screen sharing and play very, very slowly. Explain the thought process behind every decision and discuss whether or not that actually makes sense. And do the same in between games. Okay, no Shang-Chi found. It's a bit of a weird hand to have. Okay, that's a free Lockjaw enable. Oh, that really sucks for me.
Wind, aid my hand.
Black Widow and Storm, that's a bit weird. Okay. Rough start so far. Like Dracula top deck might save it, but I'm definitely not snapping. Okay. That's actually very good for us. Like, Widow's Bite is better than a random card that we could have drawn here. It's interesting, even though it does keep us from drawing one more card, but... Just the 0 power summon a random card from your deck. Let's go. Oh my goodness, Inky Fight and freaking Kirby Crackle. You are a beast. Yeah, should be winning one of the sides or at least be tied. Everything is a bot. I'm fairly sure this is not a bot. This is also the Infinite title from last season, Herald of Galactus. But I've played this person a lot, like a month or two ago. Come on, hit Chavez, please. I mean, even if Dracula hits Chavez, we win on tiebreakers though, so it's fine. GG's. This is life goals. Like, this is the ultimate achievement in Marvel Snap, I think. Alright, Collins, what you got for us today? Wait, he's usually playing the Darkhawk list. Which means we're, by default, probably gonna be unfavored. Like, Dracula left is gonna be pretty funny, but it's also barbaric overkill. Don't think we're blading here. By Mystique. Okay. Morbius left isn't too bad neither. I'm not confident enough to snap here without... Like, we're still missing a lot of key cards.
Opponent snapped.
Morbius left Swarm right is a possibility. Got 8 rocks and 5 real cards. But the good thing is... Okay, that's not too bad. Like, we can Leech and potentially hit his Darkhawk if he doesn't play him this turn. We can also rock Hell Cow because we still need the Morbiuses to grow. Getting rocks in Washington DC isn't even that bad because they still have 3 power. I feel like it's Leech right side, to be honest. We can still Hell Cow next turn. We could also Hell Cow rock this turn Apocalypse next turn, but that, like, Darkhawk is a huge issue. Please no Darkhawk? Oh, this is a Darkhawk, isn't it? Fuck. Discard, please. Fuck. We really need to pull a discarder here. We have plenty left in our deck, right? We still have... I think we lost Blade, but we have Sif, we have Swordmaster, we have Colleen. Fuck, man. Should have gone for the other line of play. Like, Hell Cow into Dracula is enough to win. Like, we have 25%. Oh, we need to do this. And any pull we get here beats Chavez. Let's go. Yeah, that was fortunate on our end.
Victory.
Because I think we are exactly break even, right? We have, if I'm not mistaken, we have 3 out of 12 cards that will discard for us. So we have exactly 25% to win the game. So in this case, it wouldn't matter long term whether we like retreat or stay. But since we're playing for the content, of course we're staying. But yeah, I've ran into Collins like probably 6 or 7 times over the last 2 or 3 days. That's pretty darn good for us. No reason to snap yet. Getting some free info. Okay, that is really bad for us. So we might have to ditch Dracula and just play Apocalypse on turn 5. Oh, wow. We just escape if opponent drops Sandman. Depends on the situation. Like, often it'll be too late. Oh, that is atrocious for us. Oh, the thing is we don't even want to hit the Leech here. But this is still the best play. No doubt about it. Can change Mindscape. It's either Cerebro, Tour, Surfer. Technically, you're right. I'm probably playing Storm in this deck. It could just be Leech Leader, though. People have warmed up to playing Mr. Fantastic on that. There's going to be a thick Apocalypse, yes. The issue is like I'm clogging left side very quickly here. So if my opponent does not change Mindscape, we might actually be in some trouble. Oh, nice. Okay. And we're barely giving our opponent anything. That's also good. Yeah, this is definitely Cerebro. Oh, baby.
Aid my hand.
Did they just majorly fuck up? Okay, now Leech doesn't make sense at all because we would Leech our own hand. They might just play Valkyrie left, actually. Like Cerebro 3, they get Blue Marvel somewhere. Oh, that also doesn't work, though. What is Killmonger doing here? What am I missing? Storming Elysium would have been awkward? Yeah, would have been a much better play by our opponent, right? Okay, I mean, sure. We only have 2 like spots left to play with. How do you win exactly? Can only think about Valkyrie.
Victory.
Yeah, no, like in the end it looked like Surfer. Maybe it's a Cerebro / Surfer hybrid deck, because what the hell are you playing Nakia for? But like Surfer doesn't make them win. That was an interesting game. Okay, we can get double Dracula. We just really need Apocalypse in our hand. Placement for Hell Cow, Dracula, Lockjaw, and Colleen. Leader. Let's play Leader and you're fine. What's up, Extathia? It's not too bad. Dodge the Scorpion. Okay, do we want to get rid of Leech? Like, we really want to win Asgard, that's quite important. I think this is fine. The awkward thing is if Dracula gets copied into middle, it actually gives us -2 power for now. What, another Cerebral? Like, I don't think Naki has played outside of Cerebro, right? Oh, this is sus. Do we snap? No, wait, it's the same player as earlier on. They might play Maximus, in which case we draw as well. I can play a buffed card trying to take middle. I'll see how this unfolds. Fuck.
Wind, aid my hand.
Okay, we're chilling. So it's Hell Cow left into Chavez left. And the Dracula's discard Apocalypses. That deck shouldn't play Shang-Chi. Like, we can only do the snap because we drew Apocalypse. So I couldn't really have snapped last turn. Can you go right, please? Nice. Can you also go right, please? I don't think it matters, like we kind of just win left and middle. Wait. Initiative is actually not good for us here. They can go double Maximus. Kind of fuck up our Draculas. They can actually win this. If they go like Dracula, Polaris or Killmonger and Surfer, they copy everything. Fuck. Oh, Morbius is a good target. Not good enough. Valkyrie will buff Morbius, exactly. Like, I can't think of anything that they could have had that would beat us. Fall they hope. Well, well. Bring it on. Of course we're playing against. Please don't be a Darkhawk deck. Okay, but why this rock? Like, this one I get, but... Huh? It actually costs Sunspot 1 mana? Is it good if I leech them? Or do they play Infinite? Like, the only lists that play Sunspot and Typhoid Mary are like Dracula type of lists, right? Cage? But even if they play Cage, what do they play the rock for? Leech could hit their Enchantress, but it could also hit way worse stuff. So we could rock right. No, rock middle works. Finish off with Apocalypse. I think I like rocks more, to be quite frank with you. They're definitely setting up Infinite.
All systems go.
That sucks. Like, I can hope they just Infinite middle. I Apocalypse right. I think I went on tiebreakers. We're up 15. They're only up 12. Wait, if it's infinite, we actually win on tiebreakers, don't we? So the scary thing would be She-Hulk mid and something left. Oh, as long as they're not snapping, I think I can check this out. If they're snapping, I'm definitely running, but... I think we win this. Alright. Huh. That was a weird game. I think it was a good call to stay in this, though. We also need to consider that Subterranea might have messed up our opponent's hand even more than ours. The weird pass on 5. Yeah. They might have just not had a card to play. For my opponent here. Okay. Not in a hurry. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, let's go.
Opponent snapped.
You want some? Come get some. Should I go to pull 2 or stay at... Go to pull 2. Okay, I really need my opponent to not draw here. Which is a bit of an issue. They're playing Mr. Negative this turn. I'm just scared of whatever they're doing next turn. Because I really want to play... Fuck. I really want to play Dracula, but if they drew a good reverted card, they can steal Asgard. Colleen is a bit nuts, though. Pretty sure we're just doing this. Okay. I want to get Swarm out of my hand, right? This might be better than Colleen here. Actually, no, it's fine, it's fine. I think Swarm would be absolutely fine. We don't have discarders left in deck though, do we? Oh, now it gets interesting. Wait, our deck's empty. Because of Olympia and Asgard. There's a good chance I lose right and left. And it sucks. I could also bamboozle my opponent and instead of making Dracula huge, I just play Apocalypse from hand. Okay, they only have one slot left here though. But Iron Man wins. It's like Iron Man Mystique, which I'm scared of. I think this is the way to go. It's much more overall value than playing Apocalypse left, because this also gives Morbius +4 and Apocalypse +8. Oh fuck. Okay. Don't be a reverted Mystique, please. Fuck! You had one job.
I am Iron Man.
That was a good one. Ah, it was so fortunate for our opponent though, like reverted Rogue, which really breaks apart the Morbius, and having one of these two reverted. GG's. Bebop. Quinjet, you say? Okay, this is gonna be a bit weird. I don't want to risk losing Leech, but I can't fall that far behind in tempo. I think I kind of just have to do it. Probably left side. Need one location to be empty for Lockjaw. This could backfire hard. Okay. But if it does, we can always just retreat. It's basically the idea. Okay, this is a really good hand. Leech this turn, next turn we can go like Colleen Hell Cow. Other way around rather, to hit Apocalypse for sure with Hell Cow. Okay, at least we're silencing the second dino. Their Apocalypse can beat their dino. Bye. So they're drawing 2 cards with effects over. Ooh. We need the mana. There's a good chance we draw a 3-drop here, right? Actually, is there? Lockjaw. No, next turn we always draw Chavez. I'm tripping, so we don't need the mana. I feel like this is the best, but we could also put Hell Cow middle. But it's really hard for us to even, like for our opponent to even contest 12 power here, so I think this is spreading out and contesting all 3 locations is the strongest play here, even though we risk Danger Room blowing up the Hell Cow.